So hello, in this tutorial I would like to show you how to create some kind of Christmas animation in After Effects. So I am on the site freepik and I am going to provide this in the description, and all you need to do is just click download. You can go with the free download if you don't have premium version, but in this case we will have to attribute the author in the link. You can copy this link. Alright, but right now I'm going to save this somewhere very quickly. So here I am, and I am going to save this to my file freepik, like so. So when you save this, you are going to have a zip file like this, and what we want to do is right click and choose extract here. This is going to give us a bunch of files, and we would like to open this AI file or episode file, and it is going to open this in the Illustrator. So I'm going to double click, and in few seconds my Illustrator is going to be opened. Okay, so right now we are going to get some warning that there are some missing fonts, because I do not have these fonts, but I am not going to be working with them, so I'm just going to click close, like this. Alright, so right now I will zoom in a little bit with Alt and mouse wheel, and if I try to click anywhere and move, this is all going to be grouped together. Maybe not grouped, but there is some kind of clipping mask. Okay, and clipping mask is just to put everything in the canvas. So what we can do is click in here, then right click and choose release clipping mask. And if I do this, you can see that the snow and everything else which can go outside of the stage is like so. Okay, but right now, if I click on the Santa, for example, I can select it like so, or like this. Okay, so now what I want to do is create new document. So I'm going to hit Ctrl N, and I would like to go with full HD. So this is going to be 1920 by 1080. Okay, and this document we are going to then open in the After Effects. So I'm going to hit create, and I'm going to get some of the stuff from here to the new document. So I'm going to get the Santa, and I'm going to just drag him like so, and I can scale him up a little bit. Alright, then I will get the snow like this. You can see that the snow is all grouped together, so I can get the snow and put it in here like so. And again, I would like to scale this a little bit. One thing that maybe I want to do is I have my layers in here. You may have your layers somewhere else, or if you don't have layers, you can go to the window and get the layers like so. And in the layers, at the bottom, there is this option to create new layer. And I'm going to do this. This is going to be layer 2, and I'm going to put it below layer 1. And I will go to the rectangle tool. I will click on this fill color, and I'm going to choose some background color, something like this. You can choose anything. And while I'm on this layer 2, I am going to draw it like so. Okay, and you can go outside of the canvas, it doesn't matter. Something like this. And right now, maybe I would like to temporarily lock this, so I'm going to click in here, and now I cannot move the background. And now I can scale the snow like this. I'm holding Alt and Shift, so to stay proportional and to go from the center, something like this. Alright, and right now you can see that my Santa is below the snow, so I can open this layer by clicking on this arrow, and we are going to have two things in the layer. We are going to have the Santa, and we are going to have the snow. So I can drag the Santa up like this, and now he is visible like that. Alright, and maybe we can get the tree. We are not going to be animating it, or maybe we can animate it very little, but we can get it like so, to have something else in there. Alright, so like this. So right now what I want is I would like to I would like to ungroup the Santa to have all of the parts separated. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I would like to have both of the legs, both of the hands and head and the rest of the body on the separated layer. So I'm going to click on the Santa, I'm going to right click, and I will choose ungroup. Alright, and right now if I click on the Santa, he is still going to be grouped together. So I'm going to repeat the process one more time. Right click and choose ungroup. Or the shortcut is Ctrl-Shift-G on the window. Okay, so right now when I ungroup it second time, my head is going to be on the separated layer, my belly is going to be on the separated layer, and my legs, they are going to be on the separated layer, but they are going to be together. So on the legs, I will have to one more time go with right click and choose ungroup. So right now they are going to be on the separated layer like so. And the hands the same. If I click, they are going to be together like so. So I will go back and I can right click and choose ungroup. Alright, fine. So right now I have my layers in here, and one of the layers is going to be the tree. The next one is this little snow. And what we can do actually is click on the, I am going to zoom in a little bit. I will click on the snow and I will with shift click on the head and I am going to group this. So right click and hit group or Ctrl G. Or if you want, you can delete the snow, but I would like to have the snow and the head on one layer. Alright, so right now I'm going to just show you that the first one is the tree, the next one is the head, then the belly, and then we have the legs and hands, and the last layer is the snow. Alright, fine. So when we have something like this, I am going to collapse the layer, and we still have only two layers. All we had is like inside of this layer 1, we have all of the separated parts. And we would like to get these to the separated layers. So I'm going to click on this layer 1. I will click these 3 lines in here. And I'm going to choose release to layers sequence. Like this. And this is not done yet, because I will have to highlight all of them. So click on the one and with the shift on the last one. And now I want to drag this like so outside. And when I am going to have the blue line over the layer, I can release the mouse and it should give it out like so. Alright, and right now the layer 1 is going to be empty. I can hide it and nothing is going to be hide because we put everything away from the layer 1, so we can go ahead and delete this like so. And right now I can unlock the background layer. So we have how many, like 9 layers, and we can go ahead and rename it in here, but I'm going to rename this in the After Effects. So I'm going to hit Ctrl S and I'm going to save this. And I can maybe provide this in the description, this Illustrator file, but just be aware that I don't own it. It's like from the freepik, but maybe for you to work better, I can provide this. So I'm going to go in here to my file, and I'm going to create a new folder, and I am going to call this to be Illustrator, and I am going to save this to be, for example, Santa, and I will hit save. Okay, and something like this is going to appear, and just hit OK. So right now I will go to the After Effects. So here I am, and I can either create new composition or I can drag it in here, but I can go and new composition. I would like to go with 920 by 1080. Duration is fine, 30 seconds, and frame rate is okay as it is. Okay, just make sure that you have 920 by 1080. And I will click OK. And right now what I can do is go to the place where I saved my Illustrator. So it is in here. And from here I can drag this to the After Effects like so. Okay, So now I am going to have an option to put this as a composition or a footage, and I would like to go with composition because this is going to give me everything in the layers. And I would like to go with this layer size. So don't change anything, just hit OK. Alright, so right now I have two composition. I have this comp 1 and I have this Santa. And this comp 1 I didn't have to create, but doesn't matter. I'm going to double click on the Santa composition and it is going to open me this like so. Alright, so right now I'm going to rename the layers very quickly. So this one is going to be background, so I will hit enter. If you double click, you are going to get inside of the layer like so. In that case, just close this and go back to the composition Santa like so. So if you want to rename the layers, just hit enter and this is going to be BG. This one is probably the snow, yes, so enter and snow. This one is going to be hand. And this is going to be right hand. I'm going to put it from his perspective. So right hand. This one is going to be left hand. Like so. This one is going to be right leg. So R leg. This one is the left leg. So L leg. And this one is the body. And this one is the head, and the last one is the tree, like so. Alright, fine. So now, what I want to do is I would like to parent them together. Because if I try to move him right now, I am just going to move the belly, or move the head. And I'm going to parent everything to the body. So I have the body layer in here. And what I can do is change the color, so I can click on this rectangle and I can change this to maybe brown color, it doesn't matter. But right now I would like to click on the head and I can click this icon, parent pick whip, and I can parent it like so to the body. And then I can do all of the other layers, but before of that, one thing that we should do, and I will change this back to the none, is we should go ahead and change the anchor points because we are going to be rotating this. And for example, if I click on the head and I will hit R for the rotation, it is going to be rotating around the center point and it is going to be by default in the center. So we would like to move all of the anchor points to some place from where we want to rotate. So up in here, there is this tool, pan behind, or the shortcut is Y. And if I click this, I can go ahead and move the anchor point like so. And I'm going to put it somewhere here. Then I will click on the other hand and I will put it in here. I will click on the head and I will put it somewhere here. And on the legs, I'm going to put it in here. And on this one, I'm going to put it in here like so. And once we have this anchor point on the correct position, then we can go ahead and parent this to the body. So what I can do is highlight my hands, legs, body and head like so. Then with Ctrl, deselect the body. And then you can highlight everything to the body like so. Or you can go one by one, is up to you. But right now you can see that in here we have all of them parented to the body. You can see it in here. So now we can start to animate this, and maybe I can start with the head. So I will zoom in a little bit and I will go to the head layer. I can change the color temporarily to maybe purple so I can see it. And I'm going to hit R for the rotation. And let's say that for the first 20 frames or for first second, I do not want to move the head. So with my shift and page down, I am going to hold shift and click page down. It is going to move me 10 frames. I can click this 3 times. So right now I am on the frame 30, which is 1 second. And I can create a keyframe by clicking on this watch on the rotation. And then I can go maybe 20 frames. So 1, 2, or you can go with like 15, you can go a couple of the frames back. It's up to you. And I can rotate it a little bit to the right like so. Okay. Then I am going to go maybe 1 second later, so 1, 2, 3, and I am going to click this in here, add or remove keyframe. So I do not want to have any movement in between, so I want to movement to the right, then stay on the position, and from here we can go again 20, 1, 2, and we would like to go back, so I can just type in here to be 0. So just something very simple like this, move the head like so, and go back. And right now what we can do is we can either move the head on the other side, or to do not complicate this in this tutorial, I am going to just copy this keyframe, Ctrl C, and wherever I am going to be timeline, and I will hit Ctrl V, this is going to paste me the keyframes one more time. So I'm going to have something like this. Okay, and I can do this copy and paste one more time. So I'm going to highlight all of it like so, hit Ctrl C, and go somewhere in here, and hit Ctrl V. And later on we can adjust it or make it more or less keyframes. So now I can go ahead and animate the legs. So this is my left leg, this is my right leg, and again what we can do to make this, to distinguish these colors, I can highlight both of them, I can click on these rectangles, and I can change the color, and I can go maybe with the yellow, so I can see on which layer I am working. So I'm going to hit R, rotation for both of them, like this, and this left leg, by default I can put it to the same position as the right leg. So I'm going to rotate it like so. And one thing that I can do, because right now this leg is a little bit below this one, with my arrows I can just position it inside like so. Okay, and at the beginning, for example, I can move on the frame 20, so shift and page down. I'm going to put a keyframe, for example, on this left one, and I'm going to go 20 frames, like so, shift and page down, and I'm going to rotate it like this. Okay, then I'm going to move maybe 40 frames, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to create new keyframe by clicking this, add or remove keyframe at current time, so I do not want to have any movement in between. And then I want to go 1, 2 maybe, and rotate this back like so. Okay, and now from this position what I can do is create keyframe on the right leg, like so, go maybe 1, 2, rotate it this way, then go maybe 40 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, create this keyframe on the same position, and then go 1, 2, and rotate this back to the 0. So we are going to have changing the leg. So we are going to animate one, and then we will animate the other. Okay, and maybe I can adjust it right now, so I can move these keyframes to be more closely together, this one and this one, and I can highlight these two and put them more closely together. This is up to you, what do you think that looks fine. And I can do the same thing for this one, like so, and I can move whole thing in here. So I'm going to hit space, and this is going to be like so. Okay, and I think that this space in between is still too big, so I'm going to move it more like this and more like this. Okay, and right now what we can do is again copy these keyframes, Ctrl C, go where this ends, but be on the left leg layer, and hit Ctrl V. Then we can copy the bottom one, Ctrl C, and hit Ctrl V. One thing is we can copy and paste keyframes from one layer, like so, without any issue, but we cannot copy and paste keyframes from two layers, because in this case, if I highlight both of them like so, and I would hit Ctrl C, and then I would try to hit Ctrl V, this would copy whole layers. So I will go back, and I do not know why this is like so. There are some plugins which can help you with this, but that's just how it is. But what we can do is one more time, copy this, Ctrl C, paste it in here, Ctrl V, and like so, you can extend it as long as you want, like this. Alright, fine, so we have something like this. Right now, what I want to do is I would like to create some kind of present, and he's going to be drawing this present up. And I have two options. I can either create this present in the After Effects, or I can go back to the Illustrator and create it in there. So I prefer to draw the things in the Illustrator, so I will go in here. I could have done this at the beginning, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to create new file, so I'm going to hit Ctrl N, and maybe I can go with just something like 500 by 500, because we do not want this to be big. So something like this. I'm going to hit Create, and it is going to open my canvas like this. And right now I can get the rectangle tool, and I would like to go maybe with some kind of purple or pink color. So maybe something like this. And I'm going to draw it like so. I'm holding Shift to stay proportional. And then I'm going to again get the rectangle tool, and I'm going to change the color to maybe some kind of gold color like this. And I'm going to draw something like this. And then I'm going to draw something like this. You can go to the freepik and you can get your own present, but I just want to go with something very simple like so. I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to hit Ctrl G. So right now it is going to be grouped together. Or you can highlight it and right click and choose group. Right now I have option to ungroup because I already grouped this. And now I can save this. So File, Save, and I can put it in here to the same folder, and I can just call it present. I'm going to hit Save, and I'm going to hit OK. And then I will go to the folder in here. I will go to the After Effects, like so. And I accidentally click on the Adobe Animate, so I'm going to close it. And right now, I am going to drag this present to the After Effects, like so. And I'm going to hit OK. So this is going to get me this as a composition, but I can double click on the composition, like so. And it is going to open with this composition, and there is going to be this layer 1. And what I can do is hit Ctrl X or Ctrl C. I can go with Ctrl X. I can go back to my composition by clicking in here, and I can, while nothing is selected, hit Ctrl V, and it is going to paste me this as new layer. Okay, and I can click on this layer with the Enter, and I can call it to be present, like so. You can see that it is pretty big, so I'm going to hit S for the scale, and I'm going to scale this down like so to some reasonable scale. The 40 is maybe fine in my opinion, like so. And with the selection tool, I am going to move it to his hand, and maybe I'm going to scale it even a little bit more, so something like this. I can go with maybe 35. So I have a present like this, and right now I can animate that he is throwing this present up. But one thing that I would like to, that is going to be later, because I would like to also parent this present to the body, because later on I am going to animate the jump, and I would like the present to go with the Santa. So I am going to drag this to the body like so, the present. So now I would like to animate this right hand, and I'm going to drag the present to the right hand. This is not necessary, but I just want to work like this. And I'm going to highlight both of them, and I'm going to change the color to maybe I don't know, red. Okay, so I can again see my layers, which one it is. So I will go to the right hand, and I'm going to hit R for the rotation, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And if I try to rotate this down, you can see that we are going to have some kind of ugly effect like so, because it is going to look like this. So what we can do is put the hand with the arrows a little bit inside, like so, until it is not going to be visible. Okay, and right now I can easily rotate it like so. So I'm going to put this down like this, and the present, again with the arrows and the shift, I am going to put like so, and to his hand maybe a little bit more, and we can again move to maybe frame 20. So I'm going to click with shift and page down 1, 2, or maybe 3, 4, it's optional. And I'm going to put the keyframe on both of them, and then I'm going to move 20 frames, so shift and page down, and I'm going to rotate the hand. So I'm going to rotate it like so, up, and I will move maybe 20 additional frames, so 1, 2, and the present, I am going to animate up. But accidentally I put the keyframe on the scale on the present, so I'm going to click the watch to put it away, and I want to animate the rotation of the hand like so, but I want to animate the position of the present. So I'm going to click P on the position, and you can either click the keyframe, or one thing that I prefer to do is right click and choose separate dimensions. And right now we can animate the Y position and X position separately, because I want to animate only one Y position. So on the keyframe where I have keyframe on the rotation on the right hand, I am going to create a keyframe on the Y position, and I will go maybe 40 frames, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to animate this up like so. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit with Control and mouse wheel and animate this like so. You can even put it outside, but I'm going to put it somewhere here like so. And then I will go 40 frames more, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to animate this back, not the X position, but the Y position. I'm going to animate this down like so. Alright, and one thing that I would like to do is, right now this movement is linear. It is going to be, it will go up and down in the same speed. And that's know how this works in the real life, because when you throw something up, it is by default going to go fast, and then it is going to slow down because of the gravity. Then it is like going to stop in the air, and then it is going to start to fall down slowly, and it will accelerate while it is slowing down. It's just physics, gravity. So what I can do, if you want to do this simply, is highlight this middle keyframe and click F9. And this F9 is called Easy Ease, and this means that in this keyframe up, this is going to slow down, and it will also slow down while it is going to be falling down and then go faster. Okay, but what you can do, this is optional. For some of you this might be a little bit more advanced, but I want to show you. What you can do is highlight the keyframes like so, and click this graph editor in here like this, and you are going to have some kind of graph like this. And at the bottom you can zoom in like so and move like this. There is possibility, I'm going to right click, that you are going to have different graph. I'm going to click on the edit speed graph, and it is going to look like this. But in that case you can right click and choose edit value graph. Okay, but this value graph is not going to be probably working if you do not separate the dimension. Maybe yes, I don't know, but it's good to separate the dimensions. And right now what you could do is click on this keyframe, on the first one, and just highlight it and click F9, and it is again going to ease this, and it is going to give you this handle, and you can move this handle like so, and you can do the same thing for this one, F9, and move the handle like so, and maybe click on this one, and with the shift click on the handle and move it a little bit like so. You can play with the graph like this, and I'm going to click on the graph editor to go back. As I said, this is not necessary. You can go fine with easing this one, but I prefer to do it like so, because he is going to throw this fast like this. And I want to do the same thing for this one, so I'm going to click F9 on this keyframe like this, and maybe I can again highlight these keyframes, go in here, zoom in a little bit, like so, and I can maybe click F9 on this one and put it like so. So the hand is also starting to go fast at the beginning. And I will go back like this. So something like this. But as I said, this is not necessary, this graph editor. It just makes this movement a little bit better. And while this is falling down, somewhere here I'm going to create the keyframe on the rotation on the right hand. So I'm going to click this add or remove keyframe at the current time. And I will move maybe 20 frames. And I'm going to rotate this down like so. Okay, so something like this. And he is going to catch the present. Okay, and if you want to get back to the linear keyframes, what you can do is highlight the keyframes and with Control click on the keyframes. So it is going to give you the linear movement. And what you can do is click maybe on this one and hit F9. And we are going to have something like this. Okay, or we can put F9 on both of them and it is going to look like this. Okay, fine. So I think that this is fine. Now what we can do, as before, we can go ahead and duplicate this, but we can not duplicate but copy and paste, but we need to go one by one. So I will go somewhere here. I'm going to hit Control C and hit Control V and do the same thing for this bottom one. So Control C and Control V. So we have something like this. He will throw the present, then he will catch it. He will throw the present and he will catch it. Okay, so in the graph editor you can play with this movement, or we can one thing that we can do, for example, is let me delete this. If you think that this is too slow, because I think that it is kind of slow maybe, what you can do is highlight all of the keyframes and with Alt do something like this. Okay, I will go back. So I have highlighted everything. I will hold Alt and then drag the keyframes inside, and then this is going to squeeze them and they are going to be closely together, and this is going to happen faster. And then we can one by one hit Control C and paste this somewhere here, Control V, and the same thing for this one, Control C, Control V, and we can do this one more time. So highlight everything, Control C, go somewhere here, Control V, and do the same thing for this one, Control C and Control V. So we are going to have something like this. Right now we can go ahead and animate this hand. So I'm not going to change the color of this one because this is the only one that remained the initial color in here, except the snow and background. So I will zoom in a little bit, and with this hand all I want to do is create some kind of waving. So I can hit R for the rotation. I can put it like so. Again, when you go below some point you are going to get it like so. So you can put it a little bit inside like this, and I can create the keyframe for the rotation. I can go maybe 1 or 2 or 20 frames to the forward with Shift and page down and animate this up. And then I can copy this keyframe, Control C. So I can be on this keyframe with my timeline, but if I highlight this keyframe and hit Control C, it is going to copy this one. Okay, I will hit page down 2 times, hit Control V, and we are going to have the wave like this. Okay. And now I can again hit highlight everything like so, hit Control C and then Control V. Okay, and then we can again highlight everything, Control C, go to the last one and hit Control V, and then we can do this one more time like so. Maybe we can put some pause in between and hit Control V. So something like this. One thing that I should do, and you should always do, is save your file. So I'm going to hit Control S, and I'm going to very quickly save this to my place. So I'm going to create a new folder. I will call this folder to be AE as After Effects. I will go inside and I'm going to call this to be Santa, and I will hit save. So we have animated almost everything. And one last thing that we would like to animate is we would like to animate the jump, and we can animate the jump with the body. So I will go to the body. I am going to click the position, and I am going to separate the dimension. So right click and separate dimensions, and I am going to have the Y position and X position, and I would like to animate the Y position, and I can go maybe 20 frames, and I can move the keyframe. So I can click on the keyframe and move it in here, and if I hold shift it is going to snap it in here. So at the beginning I do not want to have a jump, then I can go with 1, 2, 3 maybe, and animate this up like so, and then go 1, 2, 3 and animate this back to the position. So I can copy this keyframe, Ctrl C, and paste it, Ctrl V. And again I would like to at least put easy ease on this one, on the middle one. So we are going to have something like this. Or you can highlight both of them, go to the graph editor, and put F9 and F9 on these ones. Maybe zoom in a little bit and rotate this like so and like so. And maybe you can with shift put these like so. So I will go back. But as I said, this step is not necessary. You can have a good animation even without. So I can do something like this. Okay. I am going to copy this, and I am going to paste it maybe somewhere here. I will see, because this jump on some place is going to look good and on some place is not going to look as much good. But I think like when he is going to throw this away and we are going to jump, maybe I will put this a little bit earlier, it can look fine. Okay, but because of the jump right now we are throwing all of the present away from the canvas, but I think it's fine. And we can duplicate this jump one more time. So I can hit Ctrl C and then go somewhere in here and hit Ctrl V, and we will see what we have like so. Okay, one thing that we can do is hit S on the body and scale whole Santa and whole present like so. And right now it is going to, the present is not going to go away. Okay, but I will go back because I can have him big like so. Alright, so I think that we are done. The one thing that I want to do maybe is this snow. It don't look good because there is this cut, so I can go on this snow layer, hit S, and I can scale this up like so, move it a little bit, so I don't have these cuts, and I can put it wherever I want. And this tree, I am not going to animate this because this was mainly to animate Santa, but there is possibility to animate the maybe movement of the tree or something like that, but that might be for another tutorial. So I'm going to play this one time and I will see how this looks, and I think that this is fine. Okay, so something like this, and you can copy and duplicate these keyframes as long as you want, or you can play a little bit else. I just wanted to show you how you can start at the beginning with something like this. So right now I would like to show you how you can export this. So I'm going to hit File, and I'm going to choose Export, and I'm going to go with Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. And if you don't have Media Encoder installed, I highly recommend it, because the render queue, I don't like it because there are not good options. So Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue, and this should open you the Media Encoder by default, and then it is going to be in there ready to render. Alright, so right now I am in the Media Encoder, and I have my file in here, and I would like to go with this H264. Okay, so if you click this, you have some kind of options, but I would like to go with this one. Then you can click on this Match Source High Bitrate, and if I click this, it is going to open me some kind of window. Okay, so it can take a while, but it is going to open something like this. And this is the same as in the Premiere Pro, for example. And you can set your bitrate. but I am going to leave this as it is. I'm not going to change anything. The only thing that I'm going to change is this output name. If I click this, I'm going to have the place where I can save this, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a new folder, and I can call this to be AE render, for example. I will go inside, I'm going to hit save, I am going to click OK, and then I'm going to click on this start queue, okay, like so. And one thing that I should set is, let me stop this. So I'm going to hit no. One thing that I forget to say, and I realized it while I was rendering, is the animation by default is going to be 30 frames. But if you want your animation to be less, what you can do is, for example, I would like to stop somewhere in here, or somewhere here. I can hit N, and it is going to put me something like this. I will go back. So another option is to drag this from here and put it like so. But you can hit B for the beginning of this, and N for the end. So wherever you are and you hit N, this is going to stop in there. And then you can right click and choose trim comp to work area. Because we do not want to render whole half minute, but we just want to render the animation only as long as it is. So once you do it like so, you can go again with file, export to Adobe Media Encoder Q, and export it like we did before. So yeah, this is it. This is all. If you like this video, hit the like. And if you are interested in more videos like this, just let me know. I am doing these tutorials even though I don't have much views. And I will try to do more, but yeah, this depends up to you. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and go check the channel, and maybe I will see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye, take care.